I'm going to show you how to craft armor in Mortal Online 2. Now, if you're an expert, I don't know why you even watch this guy. This is mainly for beginners, so it's how to get you started. What do you need to do? You need skills. You need what? How do you get different pieces? What materials do you use? You know, we're going over that type of stuff today in this video. So, armor crafting. It's a pretty important skill in this game. Most armor, especially any higher level armor for the most part, is just crafted by players. And your crafting level will determine how good that armor is. It will also determine what armor you can make, and it will determine what materials you can use and what kind of stuff. I don't know. You get the whole point. Basically, higher skills, better stuff. Okay, so every single town has a crafting station, armor crafting station somewhere, and this is Tindrem, the one with the giant castle thing, and when it's daytime, it's glowing white. Okay, so we're going to use this as an example. If you're curious, there's the entrance over there for this city, and right over here is the crafting stations. So we have the armor crafting table. Now, if you have no skills at all, when you first go in here, it will have some stuff for you right here. Head, torso, right arm, left arm, legs, and it'll be kallardian, padded, whatever. Now, at first, well, okay, you'll have no skills. But if you go down here to your open skills button, you will have, collapse some of this, somewhere in here. I have to find it with my eyeballs here. Armor crafting. Okay? I already have 8. So what happens is you will have none of this. But when you first go in here and you put in anything, say a headpiece, when you pick the materials the first time, it'll just suddenly give you these skills for your starter skills. They basically give you a freebie on this one to let you just get these. Getting later skills is you have to read books. We'll get to that in a minute. But these starter ones, they'll just be given to you. How much you get when this happens, I'm not sure, but people I was talking to, we were theorizing it was based on intelligence, and it rounds down. So I have 89 intelligence, and I coincidentally got 8 in those skills when I first threw these things on. But anyway, what you do when to make armor, we'll use head for example, is you click over here for armor, and it'll show you what styles you have available under that category. So the only one we have available is kallardian padded helmet. So we click that, and hey, there's the padded helmet on the right, the framework for it. But we need to put in materials in order to actually make it. So we need a core material and a padding material. Well, when it comes to this, you basically just have to guess. You have to think, what would you make a helmet out of? Could I make a helmet out of wood? I guess not. You over here, right click, not wood, not stone. So maybe leather. Oh wow, it fills it in when you right click. It'll put it in as the core material. Now the padding material, well, probably the same thing. It's probably going to be leather. If I try bone tissue, yep, it's not letting me do bone. It's not going to let me do any of that. So put in leather. Oh, we got a leather helmet with leather padding. Okay, leather helmet. So once you have that in there, you have no idea, if you've never done it before, you have no idea how much it's going to use. If you have enough, it'll let you craft. If you don't, it just won't. And the only way to really find out is trial and error. Also, you can add extra core material and extra padding material in order to make it have more durability, which will make it take longer to break. But for this one, I'm just going to leave it at 0% because I'm probably just going to throw this away. So once you have it ready, you're going to hold to craft. Okay, and there it is down here. It has 13 blunt defense, 13 piercing, and 13 slashing, you know, with some decimal points over there too. And durability is 28.97. It weighs about half a kilogram. So there we go. We made our first helmet. And we can do the same thing for any of this other stuff. The torso, the arm, the other arm, the legs. But what if you want to make something else? What if you want to make better armor? This armor sucks, to be honest with you. Well, you got to go back to those skills, and you will see if you go in here, under soft armor crafting, we have these different sets. Tindremic guard, a laminated armor, and then laminated armor is where you get to super heavy armor. So in order to do any of these, you've got to read the book. So each one of these that you can collapse is required to do the ones beneath it. Now, it gave us armor crafting for free. It gave us soft armor for free, soft armor. But if you go under soft armor, now that we have soft armor, we could learn any of these ones. Not this one, though, but any of these ones. You can't learn the ones underneath of this one, though, until you learn the laminated one. Anyone that has a collapsible menu, the ones underneath that collapsible menu cannot be learned until you learn the first one. So in this case, we have armor crafting, so we can learn soft armor. We have soft armor. We could go read a book for laminated armor now. Once we have that, we could read a book for plate armor crafting. Once we read the plate armor book, then we could read the book for Tindramic knight armor, and that's how generally it's going to work. So let's say we want to get a different one. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to go to a library to go try to get a book. Oop, not that. Trying to get on the horse. If you open up your character screen, you'll see here a book slot. I don't know if you've ever used a book slot before. It depends on your skill, not your knowledge level in this game, what you've done already, if you've even learned that books exist. But books are a huge part of this game if you don't already know. And you can have one on this slot, and it'll have you unlock the skill. And then if you leave the book there, you will slowly gain skill points in that skill over time until you reach level 70, and then the book is done. Also, if you want to, at any point, you can right-click this book to discard it, which will throw it away, which is just how this game works. So what you can do is you can read a book and immediately take it, like immediately throw it away just to unlock a skill. So I went over here to a library. This is a library over in Tindram. And you'll have to find a librarian. There's multiple. There's common. This is crafting. Over there is combat. Well, crafting is what we're obviously after for this. So you're going to open it up. And these names are not always the same. So you might have to guess at some points. So we have armor crafting laminated, kallardian padded. So let's open up our menu. Our skills menu is down here. And let's see what was it we need. We need a tindremic. If we get tindremic guard armor, we could just make that. If we get laminated armor crafting, there's actually nothing for us to get from that. We have to get another book, which would be Kurite Splinted Armor, which may not even be in here. Because some crafting books are only at certain towns. So if you don't see the crafting book that you want, you may want to try other towns. And some crafting books, especially the late game ones, will only be dropped from certain enemies in the game, which makes it even harder to find certain ones for super endgame stuff. But once you've learned the skill, you're good to go. And then you can just grind to get it. So let's just go with, let's see, we got Kallardian, and we already have that. If we put this book on, we won't learn anything, but we could leave it on, and it would auto-grind the skill over time for us, which would be nice if we don't want to craft as much or spend many mats. But for today, we're going to go ahead and get the Tindremic Guard Armor, since I don't have it. So let's say I want to make a different set. Let's try out Tindremic Guard Armor. So we're going to click that on the vendor. It'll put it here. Okay, I'm going to spend 2 gold, 50 silver. Go ahead and accept that. Close the vendor.
Come again.
Go to my inventory, and here it is. I can't put it on until I get rid of my old book. So we're going to right-click this and throw it away. So here is Tindremic Guard Armor. I'm going to right-click it to put it on. And it says you need to know more about soft armor crafting before you can read this. And this is where you will run into problems with armor crafting. It does not tell you always what is happening with this stuff. So with Tindremic Guard Armor, you actually need a higher amount of soft armor crafting to even read the book. Now, I'm not sure this exact number. It's going to be like 30, maybe 50. But what will happen is once you hit 30 soft armor crafting, then you can equip the book. For example, it might be 50 actually. I'm not sure. I'm not a mega crafter, but I know how it generally works. I've talked to a lot of people about crafting. So yeah, let's say it's 30. Once you go craft a bunch of kallardian armor until you have 30 soft armor crafting, then you can read this book for Tindremic Guard Armor, which will immediately unlock the Tindremic Guard Armor skill. And then you will have new crafting recipes at that crafting station. So I'm back here at the armor crafting table. And also I realized something slipped my mind. They used to not have this in older betas, but now it actually tells you on the book what you need to read it. It says it'll unlock at level 30 basically. So you need to know the skill soft armor crafting and level it to 30 or above before you can read this book. So what you'll have to do to level up is you'll have to pick something that you can already make in the relevant category, which in this case, soft armor crafting, that's all this of Kallardian. It's underneath of soft armor. You see that it's in the drop down for soft armor. So if I level this, it'll also level soft armor. So you will pick something like this. You'll throw in the leather, whatever, for the material, and you'll hold the craft. And you'll see here, if you leave the skills up, I'm level 28. And if I keep crafting, level 29 now. Almost level 30 already. I did a bunch when I wasn't recording. So let me go ahead and throw these away right now. Doesn't really matter. They're just garbage anyway. And then do some of these. And there we go. I got 30 now. I'm going to throw these away. I don't actually want them. Don't feel like dealing with trying to sell them either. So now that I have 30 of that, I can go to my inventory. I threw that book away. So let's right-click this. And hey, now it's on there. Okay. Now I have Tindremic Guard Armor. So let's open up the armor crafting. When I go to this now, I will see Tindremic Guard Helmet. So I'll need a core material and a padding material. Let's see if leather still works, and it still does. I'm gonna make a leather Tindremic Guard Helmet. Okay, let's open up these skills. Let's see if I even get a level. Let's see if I level up for the first one. I only gained 1 level, but hey, I got this Tindramic guard. Let's compare it to the old Kallardian helmet, just to get a comparison. Let's see if they're different. So we're gonna close that now. I don't care. I got one of each at my current skill level, using the same material. Let me move this towards the center screen. All right, we got 15.82 blunt, basically 14 piercing, 15 slashing, and the new one's got 16.5, 16.5, 15.5. So it looks like the Kallardian. Oh, the new one's not as good actually, and the new one weighs more. I realize this one's the new one. So unless I got a bad roll, but either way, that's how you're gonna get new armor. I may have just been a bad roll. I'm actually not an expert on this, but that is how you're gonna unlock new recipes. Now, to get to any of these other ones, like laminated and stuff like that, you'll have to go get the book. You'll have to mouse over the book to see what level you need. Then you have to get whatever it is to a relevant level, and then you're going to read it, and then you're going to keep going. You're going to do the same thing. If the things are not in the library, you can check other towns, and if they're not in the other towns, then they probably drop from an enemy somewhere. But that is generally how you're going to get different pieces of armor in this game. That is just how armor crafting works in this game. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to make a beginner's guide so you can figure out the basics. That is the basics. Now you know how to make armor. Now you know how to slowly get through all the different levels of them and different ones and how to use different materials and stuff and what it does. So hopefully now you have a better understanding of how to craft armor in Mortal Online 2.